Hello YouTubers. Okay, in an attempt to get a little bit more into blacksmithing, I've only been at it for 35 years and really haven't gone as far as I'd like to go, and I'm just continuing to build up what I've got. I'm building some bending jigs. I've got two different styles here that I'm going to make. I've got angle iron, let me zoom in a little bit, clamped to my welding table with a round on it. I've got 4 of them on the table right now, 5 of them, different size rounds. There's 2 of them with 3/4 inch, and then I've got 3 different size round tubing, and that will be things to bend steel around when I heat it up. And then I've got 1 more to build, put together, and the parts are right there. I've got the little gizmo I made to put the welding filter in front of my lens. I'll see what kind of welding videos I can get made up with this. And as a side note, let me widen this out, those sheep skulls with the horns on them, I got the horns pulled off of both of the skulls, so I've got all the horns off the skulls and cleaned up and ready to start using. I need to go out on a search and find some sticks and let them age. So that will be the next step in my cane or walking stick making, but they have to age for a year, so it's going to be a while before I get to the walking sticks and canes. Okay, I'm going to start my welding on that one. I'm going to use the 11 filter. I thought it'd be better if I moved the camera in closer and not zoom, but I already see some burn marks on my filter from being, 3 feet away. So I'm about 3 feet away, zoomed in on it, and we'll see how it looks. Now, I am going to point out right now that I am not any kind of a professional welder by any means. Gotta get my gloves on, forgot to put my gloves on. So, what you see here is an amateur having a ball with his new welder. One down, several more to go. Okay, what we have right here is a piece of 3/8 by 1 flat, cut, I think it's 2 inches long, and this is a piece of 7/8 square. It's a solid flat bar, 7/8 square. That's the size that fits the hardy hole in my anvil. So let me slip the filter back on. And I'm going to weld that together. This is a different type of bending jig. Okay, there's what I'm going to do. I've got that 7/8 square clamped to a angle block, so it's standing vertical, and then I'm going to weld those 2 1/2-inch rounds on top of it right there, and that will drop in the hardy hole of my anvil, and it won't twist, it won't turn on the anvil, and I can stick a hot piece of steel in there and bend it, and bend radiuses using those 2 rounds. So let me get that welded up. I don't think I'm going to video that. Man, there's been sirens going by all morning. Wonder what happened. Then I'll clean it up, and then I'll show you how these things work that I've been welding here. Let me show you the other ones. I got them laying here. I've got 2 with 3/4 inch rounds welded in them. That's 1 inch, 1.25 inch, and 1.5 inch rounds. So I'll have options on how maybe I want to bend it just right around that and have an 1.5 inch loop there in the center. Let me get this welded up and then we'll see how they work. Always wear your PPE, personal protection equipment, when running a grinder. You're going to have to excuse the traffic noise, we're outside the shop. But here's the one that fits in my anvil. You can put it in there basically any way you want, and the way it would work is you'd have your piece of metal heated up, which this isn't, and you could just work your way around and bend, if I could speak, just about any size loop that you'd want. Of course, I'm not doing it very level or flat. And then if you wanted, let me bend it just a little bit more. It'd be a little easier if I had it hot, but I didn't want to fire up the forge just for this. Then if you wanted to, you can then slip it back in and bend it like that. Now you've got your ring right center above. You could hang it on something or whatever. Of course, you could bend smaller circles. That's the idea behind that, and I've wanted one for a long time, and guess what? I have one now. I've got that, and I made this a long time ago, if I can hang on to things. Hot Cut Hardy, made that, and here's my hold down. If I'm working on something and I need 2 hands to hold it, or hold on to like a chisel or something and hammer, oh, come on. You can throw that over it and then, you know, hammer. That's a piece of tubing that I hammered the end shut and forge welded it, filled it with lead, and then put a pin through it through the chain. So that was all kind of fun blacksmithing stuff. Let me show you what the other pieces I made are for. Here we are at my blacksmith leg vise. I happened to have a 2-inch round that was about the right height, so I went ahead and the last piece of angle I cut, I welded a 2-inch to it. What you do, you can set it in the vise, adjust the gap in here, whatever you want, and let's go about there, tighten it down, and then take your hot piece of, it could be a piece of flat, or I'm just going to use this piece of round again here, and stick it in there. Let's adjust them a little closer. What I had to do was some of my weld came down over this edge, and I wanted that smooth so you could clamp them right together. Get it adjusted. Then you can just bend your hot piece of steel right around a 2-inch round. And we've got our little circle, and you'd stick it in there backwards, bend it back down, and there's your loop. That way you could hang, if you're making like fireplace tongs or things for cooking over a grill outside, you had a pin or a rod to hang them on, you can hang them right straight on it. There they are. I finally got a full set of them. 3/4, 2 3/4, 1.25 inch, or inch, 1.25 inch, 1.5 and 2 inch. I think those are going to come in really handy when I start playing with my forge. Thanks for watching.